As always, spectacular. Thank you so much. Another hand, please. I do love that song. I think it's a great song. And I hesitate to even mention this, but you know where that song came from? Don't say it, don't say it. I have to say it now. It was actually in the Pokemon movie. It was, that's a whole genre of music that has incredibly inspirational music. And this is what our kids, hopefully, will be listening to. So that's a real positive. For kids to listen to a song like that, I think that's pretty amazing. So the power of one. Let me make sure I know what I'm doing here with this little thing here. Okay. So one is a very tiny word, right? And for such a little word, it packs quite a wallop of potential power. I looked up on Google what is the meaning of the word one in different spiritual traditions, and it's very interesting because it's very, very symbolic. In Hinduism, it's the symbol for the ultimate indivisible reality that pervades the entire universe. Of course, in the Abrahamic faiths, the one God is the symbol for the singular and unchangeable nature of the divine. In numerology, one implies leadership, strength, independence, the creative force. In Chinese culture, it symbolizes the balance of yin and yang, the balance of the opposites in the unified whole. And in ancient Jewish mysticism, the number one represents divine will, the point of creation, the source of all life and energy. It's a pretty powerful, powerful word. It also holds the potential power for us to begin, to lead, to create, to balance, and to unify, and to stand alone. Just think about what the number one looks like. Strong, up and down, head in the heavens and feet on the ground. Singular. It reminds us that as individuals, we are unique, we are strong, we are powerful, with the potential to do great things. Now, in Unity, we talk a lot about one. We talk about the one presence and the one power that is in all of creation, in me, in you, in everyone, in every part of creation. And this inclusive vision is really at the heart of who we are in Unity and what we do, how we practice, and how we live our lives as truth students and practitioners. And as spiritual beings, of course, we know this. We know all of this because we know that that's why we came here. But this is a very beautiful and exciting world that we live in this human experience with tremendous diversity and magical colors and bells and whistles, and it's very easy to get diverted from our purpose. It's easy to think that this shiny three-dimensional world and this physical bodysuit is all there is. And as soon as we fall into that illusion, we fall into the illusion that you and I are separate. And then, like Dorothy dreaming her dream of the land of Oz, we fall asleep and we don't know that we're dreaming. Today is the second Sunday in Pride Month. Pride Month is one of those times in the year when a celebration of diversity reminds us also of our oneness. This month, as we do in Black History Month and Hispanic American Heritage Month, or any of the celebrations of diversity, we celebrate all the expressions of the one presence and the one power in the world, all the ways that that pure white light of divine love refracts itself like a prism into millions of rainbow colors, each one a unique and wonderful expression of the one light and the one love. And we celebrate that. In our diversity, we are still, always have been, and always will be one, if we remember. Ed Koch was the late great mayor of the city of New York back in the 1970s, and he was known for going all over town asking people, how am I doing? I don't know if any of you remember that. He was known for that. So I wonder what would our answer be today if we were to ask ourselves, how are we doing with embracing our oneness in diversity this Pride Month 2024? I would love to be able to say just great thanks. But as many people in this room know better than I do, the reality is a bit different. Some of you know that I had the honor last weekend of performing with the Master Chorale of South Florida, a magnificent emotional work of music called Considering Matthew Shepard. And it's about the life and the tragic death and the legacy of a young man named Matthew Shepard. He was a gay college student who 25 years ago was taken by two other young men out into a remote place in the countryside of Wyoming, beaten horrifically, tied to a split rail fence, and left there to die in the cold of night, simply because he was gay. He was there almost 18 hours before he was found. He never regained consciousness, and he died 5 days later. And his death was a touch-point moment for millions of people around the world, and there was a huge outcry, so much so that his parents, in the darkest night they could possibly imagine, had the courage to move forward and push and push and push to have anti-hate crime legislation passed on a federal level, and that happened 10 years after Matthew's death. This was an important step in protecting the LGBTQ+ community. His parents formed a foundation, the Matthew Shepard Foundation, and their mission is to inspire individuals, organizations, and communities to embrace the dignity and equality of all people. And just last month, Judy Shepard, Matt's mom, was awarded the Medal of Freedom, the nation's highest civilian honor, for her efforts on behalf of the LGBTQ+ community. So for me, living with Matt's story over the 6 to 7 weeks of rehearsing, preparing, learning on my own, and then ultimately performing this music, it touched me in ways I never could have imagined. There were many times in rehearsal when I had to stop singing because of the tears that flowed down my face, and I wasn't alone. It is such an important story for everyone, because even 25 years later, it's a stark reminder of what can happen when we forget or are otherwise blinded to our oneness. And it's a reminder of the good that can happen even in the darkest darkness, when people one by one stand together for the light in the face of that darkness. So Matt's story changed me forever. Just last week, a couple of days before the concerts, I was talking to someone about singing with the Master Chorale, and this is a professional, intelligent, educated, professional person, and he asked, what are you singing? What's the music you're singing? And I told him a little bit about this piece called Considering Matthew Shepard, and just looked at me and he said, why can't you just sing Carmina Burana or something cheerful? I had no words. I was shocked. I thought about a few things I would have liked to say later, but didn't have the chance. But it made me wonder how many other people have a thought like that. Why do we need Pride Month? Why do we need Black History Month? Why do we continually talk about the Holocaust, for Pete's sake? Can't we just join hands and sing songs around the campfire and all be happy? Well, I'll tell you why. Because the number of hate crimes against people because of their race, their religion, their sexual identity continues to rise every year. Crimes against people because of their sexual orientation and gender identity are the third highest of all hate crimes. The FBI reports that 2022 saw an increase of almost 18% in anti-LGBTQ+ hate crimes. That's a 5-year high. In schools, the reported anti-LGBTQ+ hate crimes that were reported in the year 2021 to 22 was double the number in the 4-year period between 2015 and 2019. Do you remember that song from South Pacific, You've Got to Be Carefully Taught to be afraid of people whose eyes are oddly made, people whose skin is a different shade. You've got to be carefully taught. Just 4 months ago, there's the chart about the school hate crime. This breaks my heart, I have to tell you. Just 4 months ago, a non-binary 16-year-old named Nex Benedict was assaulted by 3 girls in the bathroom of their high school for taunting about the clothes they were wearing. And there was a fight, and the next day, this beautiful soul was dead. 2 weeks ago, someone I care about deeply and respect deeply was taunted by a group of teenagers and targeted with the F slur in a restaurant on Los Olas in Fort Lauderdale, simply for being with the man he loves. So why do we need Pride Month? That's why. Because there's a widespread amnesia about our oneness with all our brothers and sisters. I call it Dorothy syndrome, dreaming the dream and thinking that Oz is real. But here's the good news. We are here. We're here at Unity of Pompano Beach to be a beacon, that's in our mission statement, to be a beacon of truth and light, inspiration and hope, and that means to share the light we know with the world. Rumi, that wonderful Persian poet, he said it centuries ago, and it's still true. Love has come to rule and transform, so stay awake. Stay awake. And if you're here, chances are pretty good that you're awake. So let's go wake up a whole bunch more people. Because in unity, we have the tools to transform our thoughts and our beliefs so that we can stay awake and be the presence of love. And with that love, begin to heal the darkness and the misunderstandings and the fear and the hate and the illusion of separation that hang out in the collective consciousness. There is a power in each one of us and in the oneness that joins us to change the world. So how do we do that? First, let's recognize and remember our divinity. We know that the one presence and the one power is everywhere. It's in me, it's in you, and it's in everyone, regardless of how they express their God light in the world. We can, as St. Paul said, pray without ceasing. We learn in unity that prayer and meditation is how we reconnect with that one power and that one source and with our true purpose. We can clear away old thought patterns and negativity and fear so that we can stay awake, remember who we are, one with all. We can use the power of our mind to co-create with divine love a world of oneness. Remember that saying, thoughts held in mind? Exactly. So what we think, as a man thinketh. I mean, there's so many phrases that come to mind. We have the power to do that. We can celebrate diversity not as a focus on differences between us, but as an embrace of every person's unique expression within our family of oneness. And we can embrace our power, the power of one, the power you have, that I have, to make a difference. Speak up, stand up, be an ally. You don't have to be an expert in race relations or history or religion or all things LGBTQ+. Look at me, white, Anglo-Saxon, Protestant, straight, cisgender, female, pronouns are she, her. I can't possibly know what it's like to be a black man, or to be a Jew, or to be a 16-year-old binary teenager. But I can be open. I can listen. I can learn. Most of all, what I can be is an expert in love, and so can you. Actually, we already are, aren't we? We were created that way. We just have to remember that and be that and do that. Because you see, it really is up to us, each one of us, and the power we each have, one by one and together, side by side, to choose to do something to change the world, to choose love over hate, over otherism, over separation. As the song says it, each of us holds the key to the power of one. So let's celebrate Pride Month. Let's celebrate Black History Month, Hispanic American Month, and all the ways we can find to lovingly celebrate, embrace, support, and allow, just allow diversity. Because each time we do, we bring ourselves back to that pure, holy, blessed energy where we all live in perfect oneness, in divine love. One by one, together, we can create a vortex of love that's so irresistible it draws in every soul we meet. Or at the very least, we can sprinkle our world with a light coat of love dust so that everybody can remember how to shine, so we can all shine on. I'd like to close with the words from the final chorus of that wonderful piece of music, Considering Matthew Shepard. It's a message that turns a tragic story into a story of hope, turns hate into love, darkness into light. It's a prayer to love. Most noble light, creation's face, how should we live but joined in you? Remain within your saving grace in all we say and do, and know we are the love that moves the sun and all the stars. Oh, love that dwells, oh, love that burns in every human heart. This evergreen, this heart, this soul now moves us to remake our world, reminds us how we are to be your people born to dream. How old this joy, how strong this call to sing your radiant care with every voice in cloudless hope of our belonging here. Only all of us, each and every one of us, the power of one. It's yours, it's mine. What will we do with it today? I can't wait to find out.